easy to get behind the minerals, especially when I'm mostly just focusing on zealots, which are only 100 minerals, and high temps aren't all that much more. I guess I'll double check. Yeah, 50 minerals for a high temp. There's really not a whole lot to spend minerals on. As you can see, he's doing a drop up here on this base because he did know I had it from earlier, which is a smart play. And I'm just, of course, running away my SCVs and warping in a small force here to deal with that, and bringing my force from the watchtower over. What I probably should have done differently here, and I suggest, is that everyone puts multiple pylons at their expansion. I mean, even down here I only have the one pylon, which isn't a smart idea because you want to be able to reinforce these, because that's the strength of Protoss, is being able to warp in anywhere. So what I should have done is had a pylon maybe right here, another one right here, one down here, or one up here. Have multiple pylons scattered around those bases, so even if your opponent takes out one of them, you can just warp in over here, down here, that kind of thing, and it may have prevented me from losing that nexus. But I also noticed that over here he's tried to set up some sort of mining base, so I'm just going to send in a couple zealots this time to try and curb this as much as I can, and I'm doing some work on that, and that'll force him to send his units over that way to deal with it. So I'll slow this down a little bit anyways. But it's obviously this bio build here is going to take care of that. But I do have also a frontal assault going on down here, which will help me out quite a bit. Although I don't have any view of the high ground. This is good turret placement because I can't get an observer up there to deal with it. But I will get some quality storms off there, doing quite a bit of damage. But I did get EMP'd afterwards, as you can see. I'm still putting on quite a bit of pressure on the front door, of course morphing in these Archons now that my high temps aren't of any use. But there's another drop going on here at my base, and actually I wish I had spotted this earlier, because something I wanted to mention was that I did see this drop going on, but further back when I did my frontal attack here, over this area, the reason why I couldn't reinforce this is because I was at an army cap, and that's why I started running these Archons back here, because I couldn't warp in any units because I was already at the 200 cap, which is an issue. And I realized here I should get another upgrade, but he destroyed my Templar archives, so now I'm forced to get shields level 1 rather than armor level 3, which is what I really wanted. And I'm gonna have to build some pylons here to reactivate a good chunk of my base. However, that said, I still have quite a few active warp gates, even with these powered down. So not a huge hit. Still at 134 supply, and he's at 85. Oh, I think I missed something. I think I tried to do another attack down here, because my supply just dropped. Alright, that's my bad, I missed that. And I've got a whole bunch of observers here. I just started pumping out a bunch because I realized I needed more sight, but I haven't quite done anything with that. And he also took out my Templar archives, Templar archives. I meant I lost my Twilight Council, which is why I couldn't get the armor level 3. But yes, also my Templar archives are gone. So that means that I couldn't get any more High Templar. So I was forced to mix in a whole bunch of Stalkers here as in addition to my army, but of course I still need to keep putting pressure on. I can't just wait around. But even this army build should be fairly solid. I mean, there's no medvacs here, so I'm going to be able to just crush this with charge zealots and stalkers, no problem. However, the army here of mostly marauders is going to do a lot of work on my stalkers. But I can just keep pushing forward. I don't have to directly engage those, especially when he stims. If he's stimming and running away from you, you can just run away from him, and that'll just use up all of his stim time. Well, I can continue pushing in here with my stalker army, and of course he does have a bunch of weak marauders down there, and I took out that missile turret. So now I can get an observer up here if I feel I need to. And let's see what's going back on my base. My archives are up. However, my focus is mainly over here on this right now. I haven't... Oh, throw down a dark shrine. Okay, yeah, now I'm realizing that it doesn't really matter what I do in here. I can kind of just attack to ground. He'll be able to fight this off eventually. But for now I can just mess with that while I fix up my base, throwing down, of course, more pylons. And the Dark Shrine is just because he doesn't really have any detection. I mean, of course, he has a missile turret here. But, I mean, right here, for instance, he would have to scan to be able to do anything against my Dark Templar. Or here, he'd need to use a scan. And it's just a curveball that you can use. And at this point, especially when I have so many minerals, as you can see clearly, I have 8,000 minerals, 4,000 gas, and you can go here and see that he's got almost nothing. So I'm in a very strong position here, 154th supply over 91, and a huge stock of resources. And pretty solid upgrades, 3 attack, 2 armor, 1 shields. Obviously he's doing a little better with 3 attack, 2 armor, and armor 3 on the way. And here again, I'm just trying to put pressure on his few mining expansions he has left. Here it doesn't really matter, I've already taken this out. But the planetary fortress is pretty frustrating, as it requires a lot more micro, I guess, because if you just attack the ground, you can see that my zealots are just kind of running around. They're trying to hit this fortress, but they can't do it. And zealots, you can individually focus down the SCVs, but it just takes so long that not really all that effective. What I would have needed there was some high temps, but of course my archives was taken out earlier, which I now have back. Because the high temps you could just storm the SCVs that are repairing, which is extremely effective. And there I'm just throwing down a whole bunch of storms, feedbacking those medics so that they can't heal anything up, and of course morphing into Archons, which will do a lot of damage to these Marauders, because they can't really do a whole lot against the Archons. And they just instantly zap those medvacs, so always like that. Yeah, medvacs just get destroyed by these Archons. Yeah, he's running those away, of course. But I'm in a very strong position, just warped in a whole new army of Zealots and high temps, which I can easily do here. Again, just warping in a whole bunch more Zealots, because I have obviously quite a few high temps, don't really need much more than that. So army's back at 190 already, and he's still down at 89, so definitely in a very strong position here. As you can see, just this Archon high temp charge zealot is extremely effective against the bio, and feedbacking those medvacs makes it so that they're not going to get topped off while you damage them with all your charge zealots and storms. But here he's in a lot of trouble. Another good storm there. There's not a whole lot he can do. Just gets taken out. Probably should have thrown a storm up there, but wasn't really paying attention there. Another ghost coming out, but nothing you can do. More high temps, morphing into Archons. Pretty standard there. But pretty much just what I wanted to point out here is once you have this many warp gates, I think I counted at the end. No one should have that much gas for high Templars, yeah. Do have quite a bit. As you can see, these are obviously rows of 8, so I have almost 24 warp gates. So I can warp in so much there. And now I'm just going to ask him if it's GG, while sending another force here to attack his planetary fortress, while this force attacks the main. And that fortress is gone. And here he's trying to throw down a whole bunch of starports, because obviously I can't really do much with just Zealots against starports. But I don't really think that's an effective counter. Just for all the Terran players thinking they should switch to air, because right now I'm chilling with 3 attack, 2 armor, like I said, and 23 warp gates. So with the 23 warp gates, I can just warp in 23 stalkers if I feel that's what I need. I guess that's not possible right now just because of my supply count, but I mean it's an easy transition to deal with air if I feel that I need to do that. And even if he does get battle cruisers, 23 stalkers against battle cruisers, I mean, pretty solid counter. But he does GG out there. So hopefully you guys liked that video. I thought that was a pretty good game, seeing as I don't play Protoss 1v1 ever really, and I think I displayed some good fundamentals there. And that's something you can do even if you don't have ridiculous APM. A few things that I would have changed if I had better micro is I would have added in more sentries, because you can use force fields to block off the Terran army from retreating or running around out of your size storms, and then when you throw a storm on them, it traps them and there's really nowhere they can go. It's definitely a solid addition. I probably would have done a few more warp-ins, and I did get that Dark Shrine, but I never really used it, and that would have been useful for harassing these extra bases. And things like that. What else do I want to say before we wrap this up? Don't want to go too long here. But yeah, I guess just place pylons better around the base. Yeah, focus on upgrades a little more. But yeah, sorry I haven't done many videos lately, but I'll try and get a few more up. But I just really wanted to cast this one, and I believe I actually have a team game I'll cast later on. But I'll try and get more 1v1s at you guys, and hopefully that'll be good. So I'll see you guys next time.